Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the WWL Louisiana News at 4. I'm Devin Bartolotta. Here are today's top headlines. The Louisiana Supreme Court has ruled in favor of eliminating 3 Orleans Parish Criminal District Court judgeships. The split decision was issued less than a week before candidates begin qualifying for the November 3rd elections, and it upholds a law signed by Governor Jeff Landry and says it was constitutionally enacted. One of those judges losing their position, John Fuller, had sued, prompting the legal battle. The High Court gave him until Monday to seek reconsideration. And Chief Investigator David Hammer has been following this story for us. David, can you tell me more about what this ruling, in this simplified terms, what does this mean?
Well, it means that instead of 12 criminal court judges in Orleans Parish, we now are down to 9. And it means that judges John Fuller, Simone Levine, and Rhonda Good Douglas have to run against one of the remaining 9 judges to remain on the bench. So their judgeships go away at the end of the year, and starting January 1st, this new law takes effect. And Judge Fuller had sued, basically claiming that it needed 2/3 vote to pass, and it only got a simple majority. And there were different interpretations of the state constitution, and this was a 4-3 decision, a split decision, and the 4 judges in the majority, all Republicans, said that you only needed a simple majority, and the 3 judges that were opposed to it, 2 Democrats, including Piper Griffin from New Orleans and Chief Justice John Weimer, argued that this actually creates a situation where Orleans Parish, New Orleans judges are being treated differently than every other judge in every other district across the state.
Interesting. Okay, so these judgeships will no longer exist. And we know that John Fuller just won an election to finish out someone else's term just a few months ago. So
correct. So he's the shortest term,
right?
Exactly. He would be out at the end of the year unless he runs against somebody else who already sits on the bench and wins. And that's the case for Judge Levine and Judge Good Douglas as well. And it was interesting because there was a last-minute change in the legislative session that inserted Good Douglas in, and the other 2 who are the most recently elected, along with Leon Roche, but Leon Roche's seat was saved, and Good Douglas, who has been on the bench since 2020 now, will be forced to run against a sitting judge.
Interesting. So I know they have until next week to ask for reconsideration.
They have until Monday, and I did hear from Judge Fuller's attorney, Jerome Matthews Jr., who said they will seek reconsideration by Monday. But again, that almost rarely is successful. The Supreme Court ruled as they ruled, and they're unlikely to go and reverse it now.
Interesting. So this might be final decision for him.
Exactly, especially since qualifying to run for those offices starts Wednesday and ends Friday. So there's really no time to take this to the U.S. Supreme Court, for instance.
All right. Interesting. And you've got a full story coming up on this?
Exactly, at 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. All right, David, thank you so much. We appreciate it. And remember, you can always find the latest updates on David's story and all of today's headlines on our website, social media pages, and on our free app for your phone or TV.